operation. In 15 months, the unit was in 1,100 contacts with the enemy. They fired 5,400 indirect fire missions, which included 36,500 mortar and artillery rounds. And they did 3,800 aerial deliveries onto the enemy.
Thank you for joining us today as we recognize the valor and courage of 3 of the 47 American soldiers that were present in the opening minutes and hours of the Battle of Wanat. We recognize their individual actions of 13 July 2008 as actions that were representative of this force, not only in this battle, on this day, but really throughout their tour. In 15 months, this company earned and was awarded over 100 Valor Awards. They compose 2 of the Medal of Honor nominees. One is Sergeant White in the second row. He'll be carrying awards for us today and is now at 4th RTB. One DSC is awarded, and another is pending from the Battle of Wanat for Staff Sergeant Ryan Pitts, seated in the middle of that section as well. He's still assigned to 173rd, but currently operating out of Walter Reed. Chosen was awarded 14 of our Silver Stars and 33 Bronze Stars for Valor. This company also earned 67 Purple Hearts. This company alone presented 16 Purple Hearts to family members. Yesterday, many of us honored Corporal Ayers' family in Snellville, Georgia, as we celebrated what he lived for and presented his family a Silver Star earned at Wanat. Corporal Ayers was one of the 9 killed in battle. We were also graced by Specialist Matthew Phillips' family. Specialist Phillips was also killed in Wanat. Many talk about being in the company of heroes. Today, we truly are in their company. To those that honor us with their presence, the men before you had a simple task: deploy with honor and redeploy with honor. They did so like no others. They selflessly lived in very rugged, austere, undeveloped, and contested mountainous terrain. It was truly indescribable, and they did this for 15 months. They gained and maintained freedom of action in areas that have never seen government agents or Afghan security forces, and were most feared to tread. They brought development to corners of a society that have never received anything from a central government and historically subjugated themselves to the warlord who did them the least harm. They routinely saw their brothers hurt and killed, but fearlessly and consistently moved forward as they bettered the lot for nearly 1 million Afghan citizens. These honorable men never lost faith in each other or their mission. These men have knowledge to share. They understand the enemy, the terrain, and tactical warfare. And it is appropriate many are now serving in the training base, teaching the lessons they learned. With 2 quotes adopted as our own, we truly believed, lived, and sought to example: if it's possible, it's been done. If it's impossible, we'll do it. And our second quote we clung to on the back of your program is: what we do in life echoes in eternity. I will forever be proud of my service with and for them, and appreciative of each paratrooper's efforts, and appreciative of the support we received and continue to receive from the Army, family, and friends. So thank you for your support today. Sir, I'm also proud to introduce Major General Michael D. Barbero, Commander of the United States Infantry Center. Sir.
Fellow leaders, friends, and veterans, soldiers, comrades, veterans, and families of the 2nd Battalion 503rd Infantry Regiment, especially the friends and families of the 3 soldiers whom we honor this morning. Welcome. It's a great day to be an infantryman. And my sincere thanks to Colonel Bill Osland, a good friend and tremendous combat leader, for inviting me to participate this morning. Thank you very much, Bill. The ROC, the 2nd Battalion Airborne 503rd Infantry Regiment, has a uniquely distinguished history in our infantry and airborne communities. The 2nd and the 503rd conducted the first combat jump in World War II, and the first of 5 they would conduct, the most of any other unit. The ROC participated in the only conventional force jump in Vietnam, and shortly after reactivating in Vicenza, the ROC again participated in another first, the only conventional force combat jump into northern Iraq crediting the Rock with the most combat jumps in our Army's history. I also have a personal connection to the 2nd Battalion 503rd Infantry of the 173rd Airborne Combat Brigade team. My history began shortly after their last combat jump into northern Iraq. During Operation Iraqi Freedom 1, I had the honor to serve as the Assistant Division Commander of the 4th Infantry Division. The 173rd Airborne Combat Team was attached to the division, and I would routinely visit the brigade and this battalion and patrol or travel with the Rock throughout Kirkuk, Iraq, benefiting from their insights into that complex battlefield and seeing firsthand their superb performance in the most critical city in our area of operations. Given their experience and reputation, it was no surprise that when the Rock deployed to Afghanistan for the 2nd time, it was placed in empirically the most austere, rugged, undeveloped, and contested area of the country, Kunar and Nuristan province in the Hindu Kush Mountains, adjacent to the Pakistan border. When Bill Oslin asked me, and I eagerly accepted the opportunity and honor to participate in this award ceremony, I recognized several remarkable stories that say something about our Army, our infantry, and our airborne, and I'd like to highlight several. First, this battalion, an airborne infantry unit with incredible legacy, tapped into their history and their veterans as they trained and prepared for this very tough fight. They drew inspiration from their heritage and their veterans and sought to live up to that legacy as they refused to disappoint their veterans, their buddies, or themselves. Second, I saw a unit that was engaged in a tough fight literally from the transfer of authority into their battle space through the transfer of authority out of their battle space. 15 months, nonstop. This type of endurance is only maintained by challenging pre-deployment training and discipline training while deployed. The type of training and attention that only our great armies NCOs can provide. Therefore, it is especially appropriate to mention the Rock NCOs during the year of the NCO, and let me highlight just a few of them. We should note that a valorous and brave specialist earned the Silver Star, but will wear it as a sergeant. We should also note that Sergeant Dzwik took over his platoon after a close friend and fellow platoon sergeant was killed in action, only to continue the hard fight and be awarded his 2nd Valor Award today. It is also appropriate to note that Sergeant Kyle White is a Medal of Honor nominee and Sergeant Ryan Pitts is a Distinguished Servant Cross nominee. And both of them are here today. I'd like you both to stand up so we can recognize you. It is also appropriate to note that this great battalion has 2 other sergeants that are Medal of Honor nominees. Sergeant First Class Phillips is a 25-year-old Airborne Ranger qualified platoon sergeant in chosen company, 2nd and 503rd, who has been awarded both the Distinguished Service Cross and recently a Silver Star from this battle. No doubt these magnificent NCOs are representative of the NCO Corps throughout our airborne community, the infantry, and our Army. It is also a fact that these professional NCOs worked hand in hand with incredible officers, leaders and commanders, like Captain Matt Meyer, who commanded and led this company for 15 months and in this fight, having fought through 2 ambushes in the vicinity of Wanat in the weeks prior to this battle. Lastly, I appreciate where these men and veterans are currently serving and how they are training and preparing the next wave of heroes. Sergeant First Class Phillips remains serving in the Rock in Vicenza, Italy, along with many other experienced NCOs and officers preparing that unit for its next deployment. Sergeant First Class Dzwik, along with many of his peers, is training paratroopers in the 1st of the 507th. Captain Meyer, along with Sergeant White, and many other NCOs and officers from the Rock are sharing their combat experiences in training Rangers in the Ranger Training Brigade. And while Sergeant Denton and Sergeant Pitts are recovering from wounds sustained in combat in our warrior training units, they are no doubt continuing to set the example for their comrades. Today is a ceremony to honor these three representatives of Chosen Company and the Rock. However, and they would be the first to tell you, they represent an incredible company within a superb battalion, within the greatest army in the world. We remain an army at war, and we have tough tasks ahead. But with soldiers, infantrymen, paratroopers like these men today, we will prevail. Captain Meyer, Sergeant Denton, Sergeant Dzwik, and all veterans present, I appreciate your service. Thank you. And to the families, no doubt you are justifiably proud of your soldiers. Thank you for your steadfast service, your sacrifices, and support while your soldiers continue to serve. May God bless and watch over all of our soldiers and their families, and continue to bless this great nation of ours. Follow me.
Captain Matthew R. Meyer is awarded the Silver Star for gallantry in action on 13 July 2008 during an enemy attack on a vehicle patrol base, Wanat in Wanat Province, Afghanistan, while serving as Company C Commander, 2nd Battalion Airborne, 503rd Infantry in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Captain Meyer's valorous actions enabled the defeat of a numerical superior enemy force, are in keeping with the finest traditions of military service, and reflect great credit upon himself, the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team, and the United States Army. Sergeant Michael T. Denton is awarded the Silver Star for gallantry in action on 13 July 2008 while serving as a Grenadier in C Company, 2nd Battalion Airborne, 503rd Infantry during an attack on a vehicle patrol base, Wanat in Wanat Province, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Specialist Denton's perseverance under fire and bravery in the face of mortal danger saved the day when almost all had been lost. Specialist Denton's valorous effort enabled the defeat of a numerical superior enemy force, are in the keeping with the finest traditions of military service, and reflect great credit upon himself, the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team, and the United States Army. Sergeant First Class David L. Dzwik is awarded the Bronze Star for valor for conspiracy valorous actions on 13 July 2008 while assigned as a platoon sergeant in Chosen Company, 2nd Battalion Airborne, 503rd Infantry. Sergeant First Class Dzwik directly engaged the enemy with his personal weapon while also directing indirect fire. Sergeant First Class Dzwik led reinforcements to a beleaguered coalition force observation post and then ensured that several casualties were evacuated. Sergeant First Class Dzwik, tremendous courage, tactical and technical skills, high level of dedication, and commitment to excellence were unmatched. His actions reflect great credit upon himself, the 173rd Brigade Combat Team, and the United States Army. Sky Soldiers. Specialist Michael T. Denton will be promoted to Sergeant by Staff Sergeant Murphy, Specialist Denton's squad leader. Attention to orders. The Secretary of the Army has proposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and professional excellence of Michael T. Denton. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated leadership potential and dedicated service to the United States Army, he is therefore promoted to Sergeant, effective 30 March 2009.